Hey, welcome back. Today we'll be installing this MRP AMG chain guide and bash guard on the Yeti. So follow me through it. Should be fairly straightforward. Take off the cranks. You do have to align this according to the spacing, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So let's begin by taking off the cranks. To take the cranks off, it's just an 8mm Allen wrench. As you can see here, I use a cheater bar, just a little bit easier to get that leverage to take the cranks off as they're on pretty snug. I run SRAM descendant carbon cranks, so it's the bolts on that drive side. I believe most Shimano ones are on the non-drive side, but just check with your component manufacturer for torque settings and all that fun stuff. So once you get the cranks off, it's pretty easy. You just have to take off the one drive side here. And then while I was doing this, I had the bolt sitting for the MRP chain guide, sitting with some blue Loctite, so the bolts don't eventually rattle out. It's always a good thing. And this is a good time now to take your time and clean the bottom bracket area and any dust and debris out of there, and just kind of check your bike for wear. Here I'm just checking to see if I'm going to need any spacers. The MRP kit comes with a bunch of different size washers that you can put behind the mounting plate there and space it out from your frame. I'll show you that later here in the video, but I'm just seeing if I'm going to need any right away, and on this frame I do not. It's just a straight bolt-on application. Begin by just loosely threading the screws or bolts into the frame. That way you can move it around and adjust it, because you will need to adjust it. Make sure you hold on to your Allen wrench there. Yeah, you don't have to crank them down right away, because you are going to have to move that thing around just to get it aligned. MRP recommends starting at this point with the top of the chain guide running in the 12 o'clock position and the bottom of the chain guide or bash guard there running in the 12:30 position. So just kind of centering on the frame there, and that's a good starting point. And once you put back on your cranks, you may have to move it again, pull your cranks off and move it again, but this is a pretty good initial starting point for aligning the chain guide. Once you're ready to install the cranks back on, you gotta take the little top cap off there so you can run the chain through there. So just one little screw, just pop it out. Make sure you keep track of all the parts and pieces, and then once you get your cranks back on and chain, just go ahead and put that back on and align it. And once you get your crank set on and chain back on, it's a good time to snug them up. Make sure that they're parallel before you do this, and check with your manufacturer again for correct torque settings. So from here, once we put this on, kind of want to make sure that nothing's rubbing, and then we're going to center this thing off. This may be pain in the ass or not, depending on how your bike's set up, but according to MRP's directions, center of the cog stack through the chain line, it should line up somewhere in the middle, right? Makes sense? So that's where we're at there. I'm going to shift a couple more gears up. See, we're starting to rub there a little bit at the top, but I think that's just because this is rubbing on the thing. So it looks like we got clearance there. Go all the way down the stack. Yes. I think we should be good. This thing's fairly easy to set up, and it comes with numerous sizes of spacers to space the guide off your frame depending on how your frame's set up. So it's all there in the instructions, but instructions are a little iffy. So now we're going to put this plate on and set it to the correct chain ring. Then I'm running a 32 tooth chain ring. This is adjustable from 32 to 38. So again, so we got Loctite 3 on there. So, and if you'll notice, I'm going to take the camera, it's going to be a little shaky, but right where it says 32, right there, there's a little indentation that you can see, so now you know you're on the correct one. Give that a good turn, click. All right. Now we're going to go through all the gears again. Stop the tire so I don't buzz my face off. Rotate that just to here. Sweet. So as you can see, pretty easy to do. Again, it could be finicky depending on your frame and how it's set up, how your bike's set up. But this one's straight out of the package, bolted right onto this bike. So anyways, thanks for watching. Go check it out. Keep your chain from falling off. Not a sponsored video. Oh, one last thing to check before. You can do it, just let all the air out of your shock or whatever, but you're going to want to cycle through your rear suspension here. Let's drop the seat post. Cycle through the rear suspension and make sure it's not hitting anything, right? So it's not going to hit your swing arm. This one, obviously, it's not. It's set up that way, but I forgot to mention that, and that's pretty important. So, again, see you guys later. Go ride.